I'm feeling right down to like a love.
Welcome, dear friend and traveler on the cosmic seas. My name is Gopi Indulecha. What follows is part 2 of our series of video stories about the goddess Quan Yin and diamond consciousness. The first video in this series is entitled Diamond Consciousness and the White Dog of Quan Yin. This second video in the series is called The Dragon Dog of Quan Yin. All of the videos of our channel are related to the cosmic and magical trilogy by the author Leland T. Lewis entitled The Multidimensional Tales of Vo. It is my recommendation, for your greatest pleasure, that these videos be watched in sequence. So, if you have not yet viewed the video Diamond Consciousness and the White Dog of Quan Yin, I suggest watching that one first, and then returning to this one. For access to all of our many videos, I recommend subscribing below to easily locate them, and to be able to watch them in order. Thanks again, dear traveler. I wish you 10,000 blessings along your way.
Morning, Mr. Elias, and thank you for letting us stay over. What went down here last night was unlike anything I've ever seen or heard about before. So I really wholeheartedly thank you for being so kind to us three and teaching us about so much in such a short period of time. We were lost out here in these mountains and tired, and you took us in and fed us, let us stay the night, and told us about things we'd never even heard of.
Well, good morning, Gracie. Luna and I are glad to have you kids here. As soon as your two brothers are up, I'll put on some breakfast for us all. How about some nice organic scrambled eggs, courtesy of Ms. Gertrude, our friendly hen, with some chopped fresh tomatoes, parsley, melted Swiss cheese, and some toast with orange marmalade on it. The coffee's ready right now.
A cup of coffee would be highly prized, Mr. Elias. Do you have any sugar and cream for it? If not, I'll take it black.
You can just call me Elias, Gracie. No need for formalities up here on the sacred mountain. As for sugar and cream, Luna and I don't have much use for either of those. But I can offer you some honey and freshly made oat milk, if that would do the trick.
Yo, did I hear coffee? I could use a cup. Just black if that's cool.
Coming up, Jeb. What about you, Jimmy Bob? Care for a cup of coffee before breakfast?
Awesome, man. I'll have some coffee with oat milk and honey like you gave Gracie, if that's cool. Never had honey and coffee before, but this here seems like a time for new stuff, I guess. Am I right?
Well, Jimmy Bob, you're definitely right. Maybe even more so than you realize. This is most certainly a time for the expansion of horizons. Here you go. Here's a nice cup of hot coffee with oat milk and honey. Let me know how you like it.
Thank you kindly, sir, and also for making us breakfast, too. After our truck broke down yesterday and we got lost on this mountain, we was wandering in circles for hours trying to find our way out. We was tired, cold, and hungry. We had no clue things would turn out this good. I don't know about my brothers here, but as for me, this here sacred retreat with you and Luna, who is the white dog of Quan Yin, is the most interesting thing I've ever came across. Last night you were just fixing to tell us the story of the goddess Quan Yin when I asked the question about what diamond consciousness is, and Luna was the one who answered me. That was the most outrageous and amazing thing I've ever seen. But when that happened, we never did get to hear the story of the goddess Quan Yin. Is there any chance you can still tell us about that before we go?
Yeah, man. I want to hear more about the goddess who came here from some higher world. She came through that rainbow gateway this dog told you about. But as for when we go, I don't even know which way we should go. Don't want to just go out there and get lost again. Know what I'm saying?
When you get ready to depart, it is I who will guide you down the mountain to where there is a bridge to cross the river. The village is just beyond. By departing at the sun's zenith, you will arrive there when it sets.
Okay, man. That settles it. Hearing this white dog here talk to us last night wasn't no dream. We really do have us a magical being here, who came from a higher world. That is some far-reaching stuff, man. I guess my idea of taking a shortcut over the mountains wasn't so bad after all.
Kids, there are times in your life that represent big moments. If you're alert and aware in the present, these moments will not pass you by unnoticed. These life-changing events come to you when you're ready to receive them, when you're ready for growth. But the key is to be present enough to recognize them when they arise. And that is what you three are doing right now. So I'm proud of you. So anyway, as soon as you finish up your breakfast, we can head out on the porch to enjoy this wonderful day. And I will tell you the story of the fifth dimensional goddess from the celestial dimension of Va, Bodhisattva Quan Yin.
So, sir, what more can you say about the goddess Quan Yin, who this here talking dog belongs to? And also, what else can you say about that higher world she comes from that you called Va?
Well, Gracie, now would be the perfect time. How about you three kids get yourselves comfortable here on the porch? I'm fixing to tell you some things about this world, and the worlds beyond you probably never heard before. But since you three sure enough arrived here at this sacred place on the planet, that tells me that you're ready to hear them. I'm fixing to tell you three about the worlds that have opened up to me ever since I read the trilogy called The Multidimensional Tales of Va by Leland T. Lewis. Because that's when it all started. At the outset of reading these highly metaphysical books, I began dreaming about higher worlds and radiant celestial beings. And these dreams became quite lucid. It was just like what happened to the main character in these books, who is named Sarah Leaf. In the first book, Sarah Wanders Beyond the Bardo. She had lucid dreams of higher worlds, and these dreams connected her to who she really is as a celestial being. She called it self-remembering. Although Sarah grew up in normal circumstances in rural Alabama, she discovered through these dreams that she was much more than she ever could have imagined. She basically discovered the infinite aspect of her existence, and that in Va she had existed for 10,000 Earth years as a powerful seraphim angel of the 10th ray. Well, strangely enough, as I proceeded to read these books, the same thing started happening to me that had happened to her. Not that my existence and path were the same as Sarah's, but that she and I both arrived here on Earth at birth, as celestial beings who had incarnated into the third dimensional world to fulfill a planetary mission. So, as I read these three books, I began dreaming every night about this higher realm that I arrived from. I began to remember that prior existence quite well indeed. Then I started to not only have cosmic and metaphysical experiences during my dream state, but also having quite phenomenal experiences while awake. It was during one of these awakened experiences that Luna first arrived here, and I found out that I could hear all of her thoughts, just as she could hear mine. So, in telepathic communication with Luna, the white dog of the goddess Quan Yin, I learned a great deal about the fifth dimensional realm of Va, from which she came.
That's totally awesome, man. Where can I get these books? And when I read them, will I have lucid dreams too?
I just happen to have an extra set of this trilogy, so if you like, I'll send it along with you when you go down the mountain with Luna. The three of you can share them. Fair enough?
Sounds good, old man. But we don't have anything to give in return. Is there something you need up here? Something we can send you?
Well, Jeb, Luna and I don't get any deliveries up this way. But if you three are willing, there's one thing I'll ask of you. And that's just this. When you each read the multidimensional tales of Va, I ask that you read them in order, and read them with an open heart, open mind, and no preconceptions. Fair enough?
I'm sure we can all gladly agree to that, sir, and to thank you for such a kind offer. But first off, can we get back to hearing of the goddess Quan Yin and the fifth dimensional realm she and Luna came from?
Perhaps this is where I will pick up the story. For, as the familiar of the beloved goddess, Ascended Master Quan Yin, I have, since ancient ages, been faithfully by her side.
That would be totally awesome! Please, Luna, you tell the story.
The Bodhisattva Quan Yin arrived first from the celestial dimension over 3,000 years ago. Although she was already a higher dimensional being from the realm of Va, she was drawn to Earth out of compassion for the suffering of the people. She also brought with her the same motivation shared by many celestial beings who incarnate into the third dimension, and that was the enlightenment of all of humanity. Such has been the intent of many ascended beings who throughout the Earth's history have descended here into the physical realm. When she first arrived, it was during the Zhou dynasty of ancient China, over 1,000 years BCE.
So, okay, if the goddess Quan Yin arrived on Earth over 3,000 years ago from the higher dimensional realm of Va, and as you say, you have been with her from the very beginning, does that make you a 3,000-year-old dog?
Gracie, you have a wonderful knack for asking great questions. Luna indeed is not 3,000 years old, nor is the Bodhisattva Quan Yin. They are both beings of the celestial realm of Va. Time does not pass there in the way that it does in the third dimensional realm. Here, we measure years by keeping track of the times this planet revolves around its star. In Va, everything exists within what we here refer to as the eternal now. So, once you have read the trilogy I gave you, the multi-dimensional Tales of Va, you will have more of an understanding about the higher dimensional realms and the lifespan there. But for now, I will suffice to say that both Quan Yin and Luna have manifested for hundreds of thousands of years as we record them.
The goddess Quan Yin was born on Earth as the Princess Miao Shan, the daughter of the powerful and ruthless king Miao Zhuang. Despite her royal status, Miao Shan was deeply compassionate and devoted wholeheartedly to spiritual practice. Miao Shan's young heart was full of love, and her enduring dream was to spread happiness throughout the land and help people endlessly. The young princess, as a child, had not yet awakened to who she really was as a divine being. But Miao Shan wasn't your typical princess. She most enjoyed spending her time quietly meditating with the creatures of the forest, or having adventures with monkeys and tigers. Others were afraid of tigers, but Miao Shan was fearless. She knew the tigers, and they knew her. The love and respect they had for her was deep and mutual. She often would ride on the back of one of her most faithful tiger friends, as the monkeys swung on vines above, accompanying her on her walks. One day, her father saw her through his palace window as she rode by on her tiger friend's back. He was mortified at this, because her father had other plans for her. He intended to have her married to a nearby powerful king in order to create an alliance. But she had no intention of marrying anyone, and she made this clear to her powerful father. He demanded that she obey him, or else suffer punishment. But whatever punishment he devised, she was unfazed and laughed at his mean brutality. "What a mean old goat you are," she would exclaim. "You must learn compassion if it is your wish to be an honored leader." But the two of them could not find agreement, and her constant activity was to avoid him and wander elsewhere. This is when I arrived. I entered through a gateway near the palace that was very much like the gateway I arrived through here. On this sacred mountain, walked to the palace and entered the chamber of the king. "Whose dog is this?" the king demanded of his nearby advisor. "I do not know, my lord," his advisor answered. "Perhaps we can train this dog to look after the princess and come get us when she wanders away from us," said the king. "First train this dog to watch her and tell us when she wanders away." Then we will present it to Miao Shan as a gift." "As you wish, sire," said the advisor, who then reached out to grab hold of the scarf around my neck. I allowed him to lead me from the king's chamber.
So, what you're saying is that these dudes who were working for the king were gonna train you to spy on the goddess. Is that it?
Indeed, Jeb. You see, they thought I was just a random dog who had wandered into their courtyard. What they did not realize is that I specifically came to this realm to reunite with the goddess Quan Yin and to remind her who she actually is. The fact that I appear in this realm as a dog is simply a matter of choice. It is my chosen physical vehicle for journeying in the third dimension. In reality, I could appear here as anything you could imagine, or even in forms you may not have ever imagined. But coming as a dog and manifesting in this way has long been my chosen expression. Another form I often choose when in the fifth dimensional realm is that of a dragon upon which the Bodhisattva Quan Yin rides through the celestial realm of Vow. But to manifest here through the portal as a dragon, for instance, would attract more attention than was required at that point.
Holy frickin' cow, man! Are you saying that aside from being a mind-reading talking dog, you're also a dragon? This is going beyond the beyond. Will we ever be able to see you as a dragon? Please say we will. I can't tell you how cool that would be, man. What a trip.
Well, that's awesome and all. But let's get back to your story. Did you let the king's men train you to spy on Quan Yin? It seems to me like you'd have some objections to that.
Yes, Gracie. It would not be possible for these advisors to the king to train me as they might train a dog, but it was quite convenient for me to lead them to believe that they were successful in such an endeavor. Because once they believed they had trained me to spy on the princess, they were perfectly content to leave me with her. And being with her again was my purpose for arriving through the nearby gateway between Va, the dimension of love, and He, the dimension of matter.
So, how'd you go about doing that, man? How'd you get these advisor dudes to think they were training you when they weren't?
I put them in a trance, Jeb, using angelic toning, something that is described in detail in Book 1 of the trilogy The Multi-Dimensional Tales of Va that Elias gave to you. In there, you will discover how Sarah Leaf, a seraphim angel of the 10th ray, taught her band members all about the magic of angelic toning. So, I use this same angelic toning method of the 5th and 6th dimensions to place the king's advisors into a lucid dream state. In that dream, they experienced the process of training me to do exactly everything they wished for me to do. They were more successful than they could ever have hoped for. So, they were quite anxious to follow the king's instructions and present me to the princess as a gift.
Ha ha. So you conned the king's advisors, right?
No, Jeb, I wouldn't put it that way. Because you see, the word con suggests doing harm to someone. And in the higher realms, one of the universal laws is specifically to do no harm. Placing these advisors into an angelic method of lucid dreaming elevated these advisors toward their higher selves. Providing this experience to anyone is a great gift indeed.
So then, did the king's advisors hand you over to Quan Yin? And since she had not yet been reawakened to her celestial identity, did she recognize you as her eternal companion, or not?
Well, Gracie, she did recognize me immediately in her heart. The moment she saw me, she ran to me and threw her arms around me, and for a while wouldn't let go. But in her mind and spirit, she did not yet remember who I am to her. because she had not yet fully gone through the process of self-remembering that I had come to facilitate for her.
Okay, this is so far-reaching. So what did you and the goddess do then?
Well, kids, that's something to ask Luna as you head out along the path. Because if you don't start your trek down the mountain soon, you'll be hiking in the dark. I know Luna here would have no problem with that, but for you three kids, we should probably get you to that village down yonder before night sets in. Just follow Luna's lead. He will take you to a bridge that crosses a river. On the other side is the village of Sparrow's Nest. You can stay at the town's hotel when you get there.
That's great and all, but we can't stay at no hotel. Gracie, Jeb, and I have about $30 between us. We don't even know how we'll pay to fix that old truck, or for the gas to get back to where we come from. But we want to thank you for everything, sir. None of us will ever forget our time here with you.
Well, that's not going to be a problem, kids. Here, take this gold coin. It'll exchange out for over $40,000 at the general store down there. I trade them in from time to time. So just tell them Elias sent you. They're always happy to trade.
That's amazing and generous, Mr. Elias. But there's no way we could accept such a gift. We would have no way to ever repay it. The things we have experienced and learned about up here with you will be cherished always, but we can't take your gold from you. Don't worry about us, sir. We always get by.
Oh, I know you'll get by, Gracie. Your visit to this sacred place marks the beginning of what Luna refers to as the higher way. Everything is about to change for you three, just as it has for me. As for the gold coin, Luna brings them through the portal whenever she arrives here. She gets them from a place that is described in the book I gave you. Sarah wanders beyond the Bardo, which is book 1 of the trilogy, The Multi-Dimensional Tales of Vol. In those pages, you'll discover all about where this gold exists and how it materialized into this realm. But for now, I will teach you about one of the universal laws of the higher realm, and it is simply this: receive with gratitude. So take this coin with you. It is freely given.
Well, we surely do thank you for this and for everything. We will never forget you and hope we can see you again soon. But for now, we will surely keep it a secret that we got this gold here from you. Otherwise, you might have every Tom, Dick, and Harry showing up to get some of it. Am I right?
In a way, you are right, Gracie, but not for the reason you think. For nobody can ever arrive at this sacred mountain temple unless they are meant to be here. But it is best that you do not tell others of this place for another reason. It could cause them to try to find it, and in doing so, get lost and wander for hours, just as you and your brothers first did. For only those who are meant to arrive here will find it. If they are not meant to arrive, they will not see it. To arrive here is to be ready for a profound transformation, the one that the three of you will experience, especially after reading the trilogy and experiencing the resulting lucid dreams of the higher realms. You three have embarked upon the higher way of the celestial realm of Vol.
Thank you, beautiful soul, for watching our video story. My name is Gopi Indulika. If you would enjoy seeing more video stories about this cosmic journey and metaphysical cosmology, please place a like and subscribe. Also, to access the magical trilogy related to these stories, entitled The Multi-Dimensional Tales of Vol, you will find a link to these books in the description below. We would be happy to have you join us on this cosmic journey, and we are wishing for you 10,000 blessings along your way.